Hi, everybody. My name is John DePietro.
And I'm Bob Zagami with the Camper Report Show.
It's our first show of 2025.
Right. I had to look at all my shirts, see what I had,
Yeah,
what we were
exactly.
doing. Two weeks off is like 2 years off.
Oh,
That's it.
exactly. Exactly. And a lot has been going on in the RV
Calendar.
industry. So
Wow.
we're going to bring everybody up to date. You know what, Bob? In January, it's the start of the show season. And I have an interview with two RV show presenters that give seminars at shows, and they're going to tell us what we need to do to get the most out of all of the free seminars that are available at RV shows throughout the United States coming up real soon. How about you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Grab a cup of coffee and attend the seminars and find out what's going on to protect your investment.
Yeah,
I've got a great interview with Ben Parker, the co-founder and chief product officer for Lightship, which is one of the first electric vehicle travel trailers, and it's being shown at the Consumer Electronics Show this year.
in Las
And
Vegas.
yeah, and actually, Pedal Form is also showing there, and they're one of our news items. So
Exactly. Okay.
EV trailers hope they have a lot more success than
Yeah.
EV cars and trucks. But
So
we'll
those
find
are the stories, plus
out.
all the news of the week. And we get our news. Tell our audience where we get our news.
From RV Business Magazine with Rick Kessler and from Woodall's Campground Magazine with Ben Quiggle. We could not do this show without them.
We'll be back with those stories plus so much more right here. Where, Mr. Zagami?
At the Camper Report Show.
Attention all RVers. Say goodbye to roof worries and hello to worry-free travel with RV Roof Magic. This revolutionary liquid butyl roof coating is specially formulated to protect your RV from the elements to extend its lifespan and prevent leaks. With simple application and outstanding results, RV Roof Magic is the go-to choice for RV owners seeking superior roof protection. Don't let roof maintenance issues hold you back. RV Roof Magic is the only liquid butyl rubber in the world that offers a one-coat, no primer coverage and a 10-year warranty. Visit rvroofmagic.com/RVLife and extend your roof another 18 to 20 years.
Hi, everybody. My name is John DePietro, and I'm here with Bob Zagami, and this is the news segment of the Camp Report Show. And boy, you can tell we haven't done the show in a couple of weeks. We don't know what the name of the show is. We don't know what time of day it is, or whatever. But we'll get back into focus real soon. But it's the start of the show season, and there's a lot of new things going on, like this Pebble Flow, which is being shown, debuted at the Consumer Electronics Show. Bob, there's got to be a special story behind this Pebble Flow. Talk about that.
Well, we haven't seen a lot of information about electric vehicle travel trailers, and Pebble Farm is one of the first, and they have an all-electric travel trailer that runs off an app, all new technology, all new colors. You actually can back it up into the campground with your app. You don't have to worry about backing up anywhere anymore. A lot of sustainable materials, but it's a completely different approach because what we're seeing with these companies, they are not RV companies. They're technologists. They came out of, I mean, one of the fellas invented the smartphone. People that worked on autonomous cars, autonomous trucks. One guy ran the Volvo autonomous truck program. So they've thought of everything differently from the ground up.
Right.
And
But they're going to
even
find out that technology people and RV people don't usually sit at the same table.
that
And when you tell me that they're going to be able to back this up by hitting a button on their phone, that's probably in a perfect test site. But there are some campgrounds that I've been to that are tilted this way, tilted that way, tilted up, tilted down, that are going to put some of this technology to the test.
and they have a lot of solar power. And the thing that is very interesting is because of the way they have motors on the wheels. They regenerate the battery electricity, but they also zero out the range. The biggest question for people were, especially with pickup trucks and trailers, that once you put a heavy trailer on, certainly a conventional RV trailer, you lose 50% of the range. So we
Yep.
talk about the Ford Lightning at
Right.
350,
Right.
300 miles, you go down to 150. Well, the technology of these and the systems with the drive mechanism, you don't even feel that you have the trailer on the back. And because of the way that it balances everything out with the computer. It's almost like a spaceship landing on the moon. How do you land on the moon? The smart intelligence allows it to keep the range exactly what the manufacturer. So you see no decrease in the range of the vehicle. And a lot of
We
you're
heard
doubting
this. Did we hear
you're,
this two
you're
years ago or
doubting
3 years ago when we went to Tampa to see the introduction of the electric
this,
motorized RV? Okay.
right.
This is going to really be interesting because you talked about solar there a few minutes ago. Campgrounds, the best campgrounds are covered with trees. So solar is not going to be a major factor because the big trees are going to cover up the solar capabilities. So this is
Yep.
really going to be interesting. And I know one of your stories is going to talk about another product today that's similar to this.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'll tell you, electric vehicles, because I own one, are great on the test runs, but put them into reality. Like right now in New England, it's 14 degrees out. My electric vehicle, which is a Volkswagen, an ID4, one of the first ones that came out, my range is cut in less than half. That's just because of the weather. Now, if I want to put the heat on, cut it down even further. If I want to put, anything else like warming seat or anything like that, it cuts down the range even more. So, you know what? It's always nice to see new technology try to invade the RV space, but boy, there are aspects of the RV industry, not the industry itself, but of the facilities, such as the campgrounds and such as the trees,
Well,
that are really going to put a
here's,
challenge.
here's what I love about it. They've used all new materials also. So when you step into the coach, you see the bathroom and you see it with glass walls, clear
That's
glass
great.
walls.
That's
Yeah,
great. Yeah, that's
right,
always a nice thing to enter into the bathroom,
right, right. So,
especially
well, yeah, but
if you
get this.
don't knock first and the
Well,
glass walls there's
right.
somebody on the other
But
side of the glass
but
wall.
but you see it, it's not dark. So when you go into it, you press a button and it changes the glass. You've seen this in other technology, but it goes from clear glass to opaque glass so
Okay.
that you can take care of your duty or take care of your showers.
Yeah. And
But
you know what I say?
oh, wait, no, they're so smart. They're so smart. Where do you think the switch is for the glass?
Oh, way above, outside the
No,
thing.
it's inside the bathroom. So in their words,
If you're seated, you can hit the button.
can yeah, but you can't hit the button. So it says the owner can the owner can monitor and configure the pebble. Oh, that's with the enhanced diagnostics. I'm sorry. But they made a comment about not being able to prank somebody by switching off the glass outside with a button. So it's got to be on the inside. So your buddies or your wife isn't going to go by and turn
Yeah.
the glass. Yeah, it's amazing.
Okay.
It's a
So that's
phenomenon.
the flow.
It runs a little bit normal, longer than my normal interview, but it was so fascinating. And Ben is a fascinating person. And the concept for Lightship, I'll give you a little piece of trivia. He, as a kid, vacationed in Nantucket, and he fell in love with the Nantucket Lightship. So that's where Lightship came
There
from.
you go.
So how else can
Okay.
you do it?
We're talking about the flow now. We're talking
You
about
can't
the flow now, which will be a competitor. Does it say what the retail will be on the flow?
Well, both of them on their premier product is going to be around $250,000. They're going to be limited editions. And
They're going to be very limited editions.
no, it's certainly fits as the luxury end of the travel trailer market. I mean, there are Airstreams that are
Okay.
250. There's a couple of those customized big fifth wheels that are upwards of $500,000. So this is, it's one of, we've been in sales a long time, John. There is a customer for everything.
Everything. Right.
We may
Yep.
think we're
Yep.
crazy.
We have variations of that phrase, but for family show purposes, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, but
Okay.
Lightship is only going to make 50. And it's a special Cosmos edition, and
Yeah.
it'll be never be made again. And I guarantee you, out of the 3 million people in this world, 50 of them want the Lightship.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's
Exactly. So
crazy. It's crazy. Can't make it
moving
up.
right along.
Yes.
Moving right along. They need to go camping. And you know what? This Explore Act was just signed last week. And bipartisan is a word that's not been used in Washington much lately. But when I look at this act and I see you got R's and D's that are getting along together, and it's being hailed by RVIA and by Outdoor Recreation Roundtable. Talk a little bit about what the Explore Act is going to do for the average RVer.
It's it's amazing that they were able to accomplish something bipartisan in Washington. But they've been working on this for a couple of years, and they
Yeah.
felt that it was necessary with the change in administration. If they ever had, hey, come here. Yeah. If they ever had a chance to pass something bipartisan in Washington,
This would be
it was
it.
this month. So the old administration is behind it, and so is the new one. Now, Explore stands for in public lands, outdoor recreation experiences. And it's everything to do with the outdoors. And it's one of the first bills that really benefit everybody in the country. They're looking at this thing to grow rural jobs as they expand some of our outdoor facilities, increase access to public lands, ensure more Americans can enjoy the many physical and mental health benefits of an active outdoor lifestyle. So it's coming right at the right time when the medical profession, the change in administration, the change in the medical officials in Washington are concentrating on the benefits of outdoor health, and especially with mental health that has suffered so bad over the last 2 decades maybe. Provides a gateway communities assistance for outdoor recreation businesses. So they'll be building up new businesses around the state parks and national parks. They responsibly extend federal and shoulder seasons to spread in demand and create more RV camping opportunities. So we're seeing camping become a year-round activity
Yeah,
because guess what? There are a lot of people that like winter camping. So you'll see the camping industry
can't figure
expand
that out.
12 months,
Yep.
and there'll be partnership agreements to sustainably modernize campgrounds. And that's a big thing because over the past, really, again, decades, they have not put money into the infrastructure of our national parks. So this bill, and I don't see a total dollar bill on it, but we're going to see a lot of it in many different things. And it comes up with the much needed broadband for the campground industry to get that going. It's just a win-win for everybody.
Yep. And
And
you can tell the press release was written by some government entities because I do not understand one word of what that whole thing is all
yeah,
about.
yeah. No, it definitely is an organizational one, and
Yeah.
it was sponsored by the Outdoor Recreation Roundtable, which came a couple of years ago. That is 23 associations like RVIA, like the Boating Association, like motorcycles and power sports and everything else that has to do with the outside, hiking, boating, fishing.
Yeah.
So it's
So
going to get off the ground. It was signed into law by President Biden just the other day in Washington, D.C.
yeah. And the other bit of news we
Sure.
saw, we want to congratulate our friends at Blue Compass. They just acquired Airstream of New Mexico, which gives them 13 Airstream exclusive dealerships throughout the country. They're the largest retailer of Airstream in the United States. They've got 100 locations in 33 states, and they continue to grow. And I'm sure that we'll be seeing John Ferrando and his group down in Tampa next week. Now, we're talking about Tampa, and we're talking about what I said to you earlier in the week. I can't wait to get down to some nice warm weather and not have to take my fleece with me. And you told me that you got crazy weather in Florida, right?
We do. In fact, I was just going to look up right now in Ave Maria, and we're near Naples. It is 45 degrees,
Okay.
and it was
Now,
down lower than that a few hours ago.
okay. That was my lead in for this next topic because these
But
last
don't you want to come to the Tampa show and
yeah, yeah.
in
And
your
with my winter
sweatshirt,
coat, I won't have to
in your
change clothing.
3 layers of clothes, right? You won't have to
Yep.
change this.
In fact, you know what? I might be able to get a cheaper airfare because I won't need to bring luggage with me. I can just wear
Right.
everything.
Right.
But this past week, there are areas of the country that are getting snow that have never gotten snow. When I
Right.
look on the Weather Channel and I see South
Oh,
Carolina, I see Virginia, I see Kentucky getting snow. Um, these are states that don't normally get snow. Now, what am I getting at? These
yes.
companies, these states and entities don't have plows. So what they do is they have to salt the roads and put a sand formula on and this brine formula on the road to melt the salt. Now, what it does is when you're driving your car or you're driving your RV, because this is an RV show, that stuff gets up into the undercarriage of your RV. And you can't see it because it's underneath. But what you need to do is take a look at this video that was filmed in 2011. The technology is actually the same to clear your vehicle, whether it's a motorized RV or whether it's a travel trailer that you pulled. But you want to clean that salt out because it will rust out. You won't even know it until it's too late. So take a look at that video and keep in
Now,
mind that
now would that video have anything to do with a piece of summer gardening gear to take off the winter snow?
exactly. And the interesting
Wow.
thing is when you're down in Kentucky, when you're down in South Carolina, when you're down in Virginia, those garden hoses are used all year round. So you just take your garden hose out. The video pretty much does it all. But Bob, the worst thing, and I know you know this, that can happen to your RV is to have salt attack it.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
once it gets up in the guts of your undercarriage and starts rotting, not rotting, but rusting your metal, you're out of luck. Simple as that.
Great video. All right.
So anyway, so that's the story. We want to thank our friends at RV Business in Woodalls. It's a longer than normal news segment, but you know what? It's important news. And our goal this year is to keep you up to date with the latest activities and happenings in the RV industry because the name of this show is
The Camper Report Show, and this is the first Camper Report Show of 2025. So Happy New Year.
Stay with us, everyone. Hey everybody, it's John DePietro, and I have a tip for every RVer, regardless of where they live in this great country of ours, the United States of America. After the past winter that we had with snow in record amounts up in the Northeast, but we also got snow in parts of the country that don't necessarily ever get snow, like many times this past winter in the Atlanta area. So what's happened is many of the people that use their RVs year-round, they drove on salt and roads that were treated with chemicals that could be harmful to the undercarriage of the RV. So here's what I've done, and I picked this tip up from our friends at RVs R Us. Took a regular garden hose and attached a sprinkler that I got at a local hardware store. And what I'm going to do is to take the hose and put it up under the undercarriage of the RV. I'll show you in a second. So what I've done now is move the nozzle, the sprinkler head, up through the center of the undercarriage, so it's right underneath the front end of the motorhome. And then what I'm going to do in a moment is just turn the water on. Now, what does this do? Well, it's impossible to get underneath your motorhome and scrub the areas of salt, but what the sprinkler system will do, will do that for you. So let's watch. Now the water's turned on. It's underneath the motorhome, and it's washing where you couldn't get
and it's washing the undercarriage, and certainly it drains by itself because of this thing called gravity. So in this case, it's a Class C unit, but it makes no difference what type motorhome it is. So let it run for 5 minutes, and then just pull the hose back by the edge of the hose toward the rear, and basically what you've done is clean the undercarriage of your motorhome. You can see that there's some good action there under that part, and once you feel as though you've got it pretty good, you just go to the back of the motorhome and pull the hose out a little bit. And now you're doing another section. So we hope that little tip will help you keep your motorhome rust-free and corrosion-free. And happy RV.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Camper Report Show. And my guest tonight is a returnee. I guess that's a good word. Ben Parker, co-founder and chief product officer at Lightning RV. And
Lightship.
Lightship. What did I say? Lightning?
Lightning.
Lightship. All right.
Close.
Welcome back, Ben. You've been very busy, and you made some significant advancements over the last year. Give us a little hint of where you are and why you're sitting there in Las Vegas with the Link Ferris wheel in the background.
Yeah, you can see it right there.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bob. It's nice to talk to you again. I haven't slept since we last talked a year ago. Been working. I'm here in Vegas right now because it's CES week. It's the Consumer Electronics Show, just kicking off tomorrow morning, and so the whole conference center is a buzz right now because everyone is setting up their big booths and installations. We are showing our first now production grade vehicle. It's the Lightship AE1 Cosmos Edition, we call it. First and flagship product. It's a picture will do it a lot more justice than I can in words alone. So people should just go to our website.
I don't want to say it looks like a rocket ship, but it's certainly futuristic. And years ago,
Yeah.
CES in Las Vegas was a computer show when I was building my career, and it has gravitated towards technology and automotive technology. Not many RVs, but a few. And are they still? I mean, the attendance numbers are crazy out there. What do you expect for attendance?
They've told us that there are over 100,000 people showing up this week, all from the industry too. It's an industry event, not consumer specific, and so it's gonna be huge. And yeah, so we're now we've unveiled to the world. We remember about 18 months ago, we sort of first showed the face of the company Lightship to the world at South by Southwest in Austin.
Austin, yeah.
Texas. Yeah, and so at that point what we debuted there was the concept of the vehicle. It was a production concept design, really it was a show car with wheels.
The concept car, right? The concept.
Yeah. It worked, but it was not durable at all. It wasn't truly engineered all the way through. And we hadn't pulled a lot of the cost out of it at that point to make it a great product that you'd want to own, and we could actually sell and build a sustainable business off of. And so fast forward 18 months ahead now, and we've of course the company has grown quite a bit. We're about an 80-person team right now. Big group of engineers, designers, and now an operations team and a commercial team who are helping us build this whole company together. And we've done many thousands of hours of engineering design and validation and supply chain work to build AE1 as a like I say, a true vehicle, a product that you'd want to own. The product itself, AE1 is it stands for Aero Electric One because it's the first and only aero electric travel trailer out there. It's kind of a cute play on words, but of course it is it is what the name suggests. It's a travel trailer that is really built for the electric age in a lot of ways, and that we built with a heavy focus on aerodynamic performance and all electric power. And you really need the combination of those two things, we think, to build a great modern product like this, because the aero is all about efficiency and range. If you're not aerodynamically efficient enough, you can't have that really long distance, low range loss, high MPG towing experience. And then if you're not all electric, then you're rustling the magpies out of the trees at 6 a.m. as you rip up your propane genset to make coffee, which we've all
I was
had.
wondering what the AE was.
Yeah,
Explain your technology to the extent that you can without
sure.
giving us anything private. The Trek Drive, is it Tech Drive or Trek Drive? The process of why these vehicles do not decrease the range of an EV if they're pulling it with a Cybertruck or a big BMW or something. But go through that process. I think that's one of the things, correct me if I'm wrong, but when people first see this vehicle and then you see the demonstration, and we'll show some of the tricks that it can do uh, on an overlay. But explain why this vehicle, why this market.
Yeah, Trek Drive is not a system that immediately meets the eye either, but it is a critical part of the technology stack of the whole product. What Trek Drive does, well, first maybe I'll back up a little bit. Think about what is an AE1? What is an aero electric travel trailer? In our case, I like to think of it in simple terms as the combination of three things. On the floor, it's the EV skateboard chassis. So battery, motors, and electronics all built into, in this case, a trailer frame. On the roof, it is a very capable solar system. So the whole roof line of AE1 and any Lightship has high density solar panels built into the roof line to preserve the aerodynamics, but generate a lot of power. We have just shy of 2 kilowatts of solar generation in the roof of this thing, which for a 26-foot long, sort of small family sized travel trailer is quite a bit, and took a lot of good work to get that much solar in. The third
Yeah,
thing in the middle between the solar on the roof and the EV skateboard is this beautiful modern living space, like a little micro apartment for the road. We took a really kind of open floor plan oriented design to creating that space, because it's only 180 square feet, and so we thought it was really important that you get a sense of spaciousness through both a tall roof height. It's about a 7.5 foot roof, which in a bumper pull travel trailer is unheard of, and many panoramic windows all the way around to give you great look at the vistas, and also just kind of reduce the amount of claustrophobia that you might feel on the inside of a relatively small trailer. And so what Trek Drive is it is a novel propulsion system that is built into the bottom of the product. It's built into the chassis, and you can think of it as basically a range saver. So we
right.
use that EV battery plus a motor that's mounted on the rear axle. It's a double axle trailer, and that motor helps the trailer propel itself so that the truck that's pulling the trailer doesn't feel the weight of the trailer anymore, both as it's accelerating, so it gets up to speed faster, and as you're cruising, the motor is always engaged, reducing the load that the trailer puts on the truck. The way that the Trek Drive system actually consists of a couple of components. There's the drive unit, like I said, the battery and drive unit. We also have um, a novel and now patented force sensing hitch that integrates just behind the ball hitch, where you make the connection to the truck, and is constantly measuring the force between the truck and the trailer. And why that's important is because if you can imagine, if the trailer is pulling the truck back, now the sensor can tell the controller to tell the motor to spin up and to help the truck. And then the same thing works in reverse. So if the force sensor measures a pushing force between the truck and trailer, now the motor decides to go into regen mode. So it acts in reverse like a generator, and it actually puts energy back into the trailer battery pack while at the same time maintaining almost no force on the hitch, so that pushing force goes back to zero. So what it'll feel like is it's pretty interesting. It almost feels like the trailer is floating on the truck. Like you hit a certain speed. Right now it's about 15 miles an hour, and the truck drive system engages, and the weight of the trailer behind you, you feel it evaporate basically. And so now your truck just starts to accelerate like a truck would. And the same will be true in reverse. If you're, let's say you're descending, and the trailer tends to wag, it's the tail wagging the dog in that scenario. Now you're not going to feel the trailer pushing and trying to throw the truck bed around. It's just going to be stably tracking behind the
And
truck. And
you don't need a weight distribution hitch either, right?
we would still recommend a weight distribution hitch, because you still need to think about some sway scenarios. Like if the trailer is misloaded, for instance,
True. Yep.
I think it's still a good idea to use weight distribution. Traditional guidance is above 5,000 pounds. You want to put a weight distribution hitch in. Um, It'll help. It helps with a lot of things, too. Like you won't have the truck kind of listing back anymore. You'll be able to tow more level again. So I think it's still a good idea. And actually, we've had to do a fair amount of work on the details of the truck drive technology to make sure that it is not affected by the weight distribution hitch, and that it's able to sort of see through any of the um, impacts of that weight distribution. Well, I think maybe this is self-evident, but what's so important about the track drive system, especially in combination with great aerodynamics, is that all of us who tow with gas trucks are used to getting, maybe 10 miles a gallon, something like that on the highway.
Yeah.
And anybody who's towed with an EV truck knows it's basically, yeah, it's basically a foregone conclusion that you're going to lose the bulk of your range. Like more than 50% of your EV truck's range is gone when you're towing a traditional travel trailer. And so for the EV truck, we actually rescue all that range to get you back to almost no range loss, and back to your normal kind of unladen towing, or unladen range.
Yeah.
So a 300-mile EV truck stays a 300-mile EV truck, which I think it's a key access point for people who want to go EV trailering and love the experience of their EV truck, but are hung up by the Achilles heel
Well, you're
around towing
right. Right.
range.
And the rule of thumb for most RVers is 6 hours, maybe 300 miles a day. That's what they
Mhm.
like. They don't want to spend 8 or 10 hours. So you can go all the way from destination to destination and charge at that level. You're not going to sit back at the gas station or the charging device and wait for your turn. So go back
Yep.
to the interior, and I think you're right. The when you look at graphically and the photography of it, at 180 square feet, that looks like a 400 square foot park model.
Hmm.
There is no concept of being claustrophobic or anything. Talk about some of the creature comforts that you built into it, because this is not an inexpensive
Yeah.
EV trailer, and it shouldn't be. You should not make any apologies for the price tag that you got on it. I think there's a tremendous market because it solves a lot of problems outside the trailer with the trailer. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It's a high price point, and we're also um, unapologetic about that price point, because the value is so great that comes along with it. There's no way to get this much battery, this much solar, and such a unique design concept from any other vehicle out there. And I think it's also it's important for folks to know, and I think people know this intuitively, that new technology, and especially in this day and age, new technology that is built in America, the vast majority of the E1 is built here in the States. We do final assembly in Colorado, and a lot of our supply chain is domestic as well. There are startup costs associated with new technology and building here in America, and we're not going to we're not going to, for instance, shortchange our workers or cut corners to build a subpar product. We're gonna build a product with great value and good principles behind it. That talking about the interior design, uh, it's totally unique. And I guess it's actually unique at every level. It's unique in concept. It's very I don't know if there are any other travel trailers of this size that are built with a really open plan. So of course we have a restroom that's blocked off in the very back of the vehicle, still a dry bath setup, so you can shower and use the toilet and sink and vanities. And there's a partition door that separates that portion of the vehicle, but the rest is an open plan, still broken up into zones that make sense. So
Yep.
the front of the vehicle, the nose is a lounge space that converts into the main bed area, sort of the main bedroom. The very middle
Yeah.
is a dining room or a dining area, an L-shaped dinette on one side, and then a big storage console that kind of transitions into the kitchen on the other side, and then a kitchenette with all of your electric appliances. Um, some of the material choices uh, really beautiful, and I think just stand out so so keenly. Um, we have I'll tell you about a few of them, although it's for all of this stuff, Bob. I'm 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 so appreciative that you realize how unique this must feel just in looking at it on our website. And I think it's a testament to good website design and good creative work there. But for a 26-foot long product that feels like nothing else, there is no substitute for getting into one. It's part of why we've come to CES, just to actually get a lot of people through it and have them experience it in person, because that's the key.
And explain your pricing and your quantity, because you got a special program with the AE1. Explain how that is, and I'm sure you'll
Yeah,
be
that's right.
I'm sure you'll be taking orders at the show.
Indeed, yeah, we've the orders are rolling in, and we'll I'm sure take some more at CES.
Yeah.
We're um we're releasing the product in a tiered way, so different trims along the way. We have four trim levels of AE1 that we've announced. The first one, which is really it's an exclusive first set, we call the Cosmos edition. All of the trims, the names are based on how far from the Earth you are, and so we start with Cosmos, then we go to Atmos, like you're in the atmosphere, then Panos, and then Teros. Teros being like you're on the ground. And so Cosmos is kind of the creme de la creme. We'll only ever build 50 of the Cosmos edition. And honestly, I think there are a lot of things that are really special and unique about the Cosmos, but one of the priceless things about owning a Cosmos vehicle is that you will be the first. There will never be another set of Cosmos vehicles. And I think that community of people who take delivery of one of the first 50 vehicles is going to be a pretty special badge of honor to wear. There's a sort of unique set of colorways that mark the Cosmos edition too. So you'll always know that, okay, this is a Cosmos, this is a one of 50. After we build the Cosmos vehicles, which we'll do this year, we get into general production, and so then you have Atmos, Panos, and Teros, each of which are offered at different price points and have sort of different features included.
I could talk to you all night, but I'm already running overtime, but that's all right. We got a
Yeah,
couple more minutes.
yeah.
I was intrigued with your story about how you named the company Lightship. Can you tell us briefly how you did that and why that was so important to you in launching the company?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's a story near and dear to my heart, and actually right in your backyard
Right,
too.
right.
Lightship was named after originally the Nantucket Lightship. I'm a Nantucketer, grew up the son of an innkeeper on Nantucket Island off Cape Cod
Yeah,
in Massachusetts. And as I was brainstorming company names back is now that first summer of COVID, so May of 2020, I was
2020.
out. Yeah. Um, I was thinking about company names and was talking with a friend about it, and we were saying to each other that I should think back to my childhood and something that was poignant there. And this boat came to mind, the Nantucket Lightship, which was a boat that I would see in the harbor growing up. Lightships have a really interesting, now kind of defunct piece in U.S. maritime history. They were these vessels that acted as floating lighthouses.
Right.
So on the masts, they have big Fresnel lenses to ultimately to provide safe passage for big ships as they would come into shore. The big ship would look for, let's say, the Nantucket Lightship,
Yep.
hanging on in
And that was
dangerous.
the largest lightship ever made, the Nantucket Lightship.
Oh, I actually didn't know that. It is quite large. I think it's a
Yeah.
close to 150.
The others were much smaller. Well, look at Ben. I'm going to let you get back to the convention center.
All
Uh,
right, good.
I appreciate it very much taking the time, and I'm going to continue to follow the progress. And one of these days, your schedule or the vehicle schedule will figure out, and I'll definitely want to see it in person.
And I will definitely want to give you a tour. Thanks for a quick hit. Anybody who's interested in
Yep.
learning about what we're up to, go to our website, which I know you'll put up, or
I will we'll
just
put
drop.
that up, lightshiprv.com, and we'll put
Yeah,
that up, and we'll put your contact information, and it'll be out this Friday, and have fun with it. And you put together a great team, and you developed a great product. So nothing but good things for you coming down the road, Ben.
we're not there yet, and none of us ever get there, but we're making a lot of progress, and we're pretty excited for the year ahead. Thanks for the time.
Thank you, Ben.
Hey everybody, it's John DePietro, and if you go to an RV show, outside of seeing a lot of RVs and a lot of trinkets and a lot of gadgets, one of the features that RV shows provide are very informative seminars. And with me right now are two of the best seminar speakers in the entire United States on a wide variety of topics. But we want to introduce you to Chris Doherty, the RV PhD, and Mike Sokol, who I call the modern day Mr. Wizard. And Mike, why don't we start with you? What are some tips that people should know when they go to a seminar at an RV show? With you guys, you're not going to get sales pitches. You're going to get real live education.
Right.
So should they come equipped with a camera? Should they come equipped with a notebook? What should they expect?
Well, bring a notebook and they can bring a camera, but partly come with expecting not to know stuff. So I get people that say, electricity is way too complicated. I can't possibly take this class. Chris and I are both pretty good at getting this down to real basic levels, even though they can be complicated. Come with the expectation to learn. Bring a notepad. And don't be afraid. By the time you get through this, you will know a lot more than when you came in. You may not know everything, but you will know more. It is a building process.
And I'm sure, Chris, you agree that one seminar is not going to make you an expert, but it may save you thousands of dollars if you listen to some of the tips that you've provided, because I know in your case, you've done everything in the industry with an RV, from fix it to sell it to service it and that type of thing. And people should really listen.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why we do the seminars, right, is to give people a little bit more information, to give them an idea where the resources are that they can go to find out more information. And try to be a trustworthy source, right? So it's like you said, it's not a sales pitch, it's not, we're not trying to push that on people. It's the basic stuff that you need to know, and some more advanced things for sure.
Right.
But we find people really enjoy that kind of information, and coming to RV shows to get that is good for everybody.
Yeah.
And if I can inject one thing, bring your questions.
You're right. Yes.
I learn way more
Right.
from a class than they learn from me. My future topics are based on things that people ask. I'm going, wow, I haven't thought about that yet.
Yeah.
That's going to be a new slide, a new presentation. I love questions.
Yep.
And in the category of great minds think alike, that was a question I was going to ask both of you. Usually these seminars are advertised far in advance, and it's got your bio and your background info. People do some research. They can come to you and say, in our particular case, after the thing is over.
Right.
One thing you don't want to have people with a seminar is raising their hand with their particular case.
I tell them wait till after
Yeah,
the thing. Yeah.
and trying to dominate. Both of you will take time after the seminar to
Yes.
talk with people, because I've seen you take time after. So
Yep.
it's not just that 45 to 50 minutes.
Correct.
And many times also, the seminar providers have courses that they offer and other seminars that they've got either online or on YouTube and that type of thing.
Right.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely. So here at the show, we've got 1 hour blocks for our programs.
Yep.
So we'll take what questions we can here, but both of us go down. The PRVCA
Right.
has a booth
Yep.
that we go to for a scheduled amount of time per day for Q&A. And then I also make sure that all of the people that are attending my seminars can scan a QR code with their phone and come to my websites and find a way to contact me if they have questions and to get seminar notes.
So it's important to point out that your information is not limited to that 45 to 50 minute
No,
window.
definitely not.
And the more research that the attendee does prior to coming in will allow them to really gain more from it, right? Mike?
Yes, exactly. So prepare to learn.
Yeah.
Prepare to
That
learn.
really is it.
Cool. So we want to thank you so much. I know, I don't know if our camera person could just scan over here. We're shooting live at a seminar, and these people are ready to learn. And we want to tell you that regardless of what show you go to throughout the country, I mean, and there are hundreds of them from January, February, and March, and you guys probably go to a lot of them and speak at them,
Yep.
to take full advantage of the seminars, which are normally at no cost, but you can gain so much from.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
So, that's the story.